Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode number, I can't even remember now, what is this, 34, I want to say, of the Colorado Rockies Out of the Park Baseball 16 series. And yes, I am going to continue to do this series, even though we did just capture our first World Series. I'm going to continue to post this probably for, I don't know, maybe a few more seasons. I'm not quite sure exactly how much longer, but, you know, I gotta defend my title. I gotta do my due diligence and all that, so we will be continuing on for now, but I would say that this series is probably, at least in its second half. So, anyway, we've got the offseason, though. It's gonna be a pretty big offseason, so for those of you who missed me, streaming some OOTP on the OOTP Twitch channel last night, I, was talking to the head PR guy, Brad Cook, and we just sort of talked about the league, talked about OOTP a little. It was a fun conversation. I had a good time on it. So I can't post that on YouTube because that's on the OOTP Twitch channel. But I can give you guys a link to that video on Twitch, so you guys can watch that if you want. I didn't actually end up progressing any bit in my save or whatever, but it was still a fun conversation, and I think you guys would probably be interested in checking it out, or at least some of you guys would be. So anyway, let's get into this offseason. We've got a pretty big offseason here. So first things first, we've got Jose Fernandez's team option, and I think I am going to decline this. As you can see, his ratings are really going down, and he was pretty bad in the second half last year. And he's owed $20 million. He's owed $20 million, and his demands, if I were to not pick up his option, would be upwards of 22, 23, 24 million a year, which means he would likely decline a qualifying offer from us, and we can hopefully get a compensation pick on him. So we're going to decline his team option. And then, other than that, it doesn't look like we have any personnel to hire. So let's just get into the salary arbitration. I don't even know what to call this screen. So we have three big free agent eligible players: Nolan Arenado, Jose Fernandez, and Steven Strasburg. So Arenado, I'm not going to bring back either. End of an era, I know, but I'm not going to pay him $7.5 million to be the player that he was last year. He's just not any good anymore, and he's 34, which is, you know, sort of to be expected. So we're going to let Arenado go. We're going to let Fernandez go. We're going to slap him with the qualifying offer. But I think we're going to bring Steven Strasburg back. Steven Strasburg's demands have not exceeded $9.5 million for next year, and that is a fine price. So I feel pretty comfortable about giving him that. So I think that is exactly what we'll do. He was the ace of our staff last year. $9.5 million, absolutely. All right. So we'll re-sign him. And now we get into the arbitration eligible players. So Jacob Parrott came over. Was a bench player for us last year. He wants 900,000 maybe. Oops, it's 900 million. Okay, maybe 950. I'll pay Parrott. He's pretty productive right-handed bat for us last year. Brian Harris. So we claimed Brian Harris off of waivers at the end of the year. But I think as we have Jacob Parrott, I'll just let Harris go. Withdraw that. Jose Reyes. So Reyes is finally hitting arbitration, and I'd like to get an extension done with him at some point, I think, but we might just hold off on that for now. I'm not sure what an extension would look like. I'm sure it would involve a lot of money. I'm wondering if maybe like go 10. He's got what, 3 arbitration years left? Yeah, 10. Then 12.50. We could even go 13, and then maybe 16 a year for like 8 years with 2 team options. Yeah, so he's not really interested in a long-term deal either. At least not the one that we offered him. So we'll hold off on that. Not too anxious. We still have 3 more years of team control over him. Jonathan Windham is a guy that I think I want to bring back, but now he wants $4 million. So now I'm not really too sure. We can at least get him under contract and then probably trade him later. But that's a lot of money for a guy who, I mean, he was really good for us last year, but he really was, I mean, I guess he was okay in Oakland. And it's not like he was that good in San Francisco beforehand, so I don't know, but he's a good candidate to take over at third base next year. Nick Shumpert will let go. Nico Buentella will let go. We don't need him. Alex Webb we can let go. Ryan January we can let go. Actually, in that case, we might bring back Alex Webb. His hitting stats are awful. We'll be able to find a better backup catcher. Ryan Burr we definitely want to bring back. He was really good for us at the end of last year and in the playoffs. So we'll give him 2.2. And then Zach Birdie, I think I'll try to give him an extension here. So we gave Reagan Bazar $6 million a year. What if we gave Zach Birdie the same exact thing? We did Let's see, he's 30 years old. So let's do 6 million. This would be his. He'll turn 31, 32, 33. We do 4 years of the team option at the end. Alright, cool. So Birdie, this is his last year of team control. And as you can see, he's actually getting right up there too. If he had been called up any earlier than he had, or even just like 20, 30 days earlier than he had been, he'd already be a free agent. Alright, Julio Urias we'll bring back as well. He was pretty productive for us last year, actually. Had another good year. So, just give him 2.9. Great. Riley Pint will bring back. Some people were telling me to make Riley Pint a starter. I don't know, maybe. Maybe it's worth a shot. But he only has 2 pitches. Usually guys with 2 pitches I don't bother starting unless they're really good pitches like Zach Birdie has. In which case I would consider it, but the Pint, maybe I'll you know, give him a spot start here or there next year, but I think I'm pretty comfortable keeping him in the bullpen. Aiken will bring back 2.4 million. Todd Peterson, no. Hunter Parsons. Yes, he has got 2 more years of team control left. So we might trade him next offseason. And Jake Brent, ooh, his ratings have gone down. Yeah, we'll let Jake Brent go then. Alright, so we're letting a lot of guys go. So we'll get to simulating here, but there are a couple of moves that I want to make. So going into next year, we're obviously going to have a new third baseman. And by that I just mean not Nolan Arenado. It could be Jonathan Windham. And then we have these 2 middle infield prospects that are pretty much MLB ready. We've got Esteban Ortiz here. Obviously, I've been talking about him for a while now, so he'll probably come up early next season. And then the other guy might still be in Double-A. Yes, he is. Ruben Rodriguez. So he has not really played above Double-A yet, but he's a guy that I think I might get to the big leagues sooner rather than later. Now, yeah, the OSA ratings aren't very favorable to him, but our head scout really likes him, and he's very fast, so we're definitely going to probably bring him up at some point next year, because I think what we're going to do is probably trade Ozzy Albies, even though it's kind of a tough spot because we, you know, we're going to have Windham, and then we're going to have these young guys, and it's like kind of not really too reliable of a middle infield. So trading Albies doesn't make too much sense, but my rationale behind it is he only has 1 year left at $8.1 million. He's going to get a big free agent contract at the end of that, and we also need more pitching. I mean, our pitching staff right now, I mean, we're not going to have Jose Fernandez next year. It looks like Elias Miles is not going to work. Whoa. Excuse me, almost threw up in my mouth a little bit there. Alright, looks like Elias Miles is not going to work out as a starter. So, yeah, where do you go from here? I mean, we need like 2 more starters. So one way we're going to get one is through trading Ozzy Albies, and I actually already found the trade that I'm going to do. It is with the Milwaukee Brewers, the team he faced off against in the AL or the NLCS, and it's going to be for David Burkhalter. So Burkhalter was, I think he was the ace of their staff. I want to say he was. Let's throw Albies in here just to confirm that this actually will work. Oh, you know what? He's technically on the disabled list. Yeah, so, alright, they would do this. Burkhalter, you can see his stats there. They're not the greatest, but he's a 4.5-star pitcher. Makes a pretty reasonable $12.8 million over the next 2 years, and has had, you know, 3 straight pretty good seasons. So, he's about as solid as they come, and he would help fill the hole that Jose Fernandez leaves by leaving. So, the only other thing is I'm just wondering, let's go to starting pitching and see. Yeah, he's definitely their best pitcher, so if we're going to go after him, or if we're going to go after a pitcher from this team, we got to go after him. Alright. So we will do this, and he's a good guy. It never shows any lack of effort. Perfect. Alright, so we move Albies. We pick up David Burkhalter. Perfect. And we will slot him in the rotation next year. And I'm hoping, I don't know. Our rotation still isn't that great. I think I'll probably wait until the free agent period starts before I make any more moves for starters. Because I wouldn't feel too sketchy or whatever about coming into the season with this as our starting rotation next year, but I think ideally we should add one more top 3 or top 4 guy. I mean, I'm not even sure if Burkhalter is really going to be a great number 2, at least in cores. And Strasburg, he's going to be 38, so how much can you rely on him? Like, I don't know, it's really tough. It would have been nice if Elias Miles had sort of blossomed into the ace that we thought he could be. But, oh well. Alright, so I'm going to get to simulating here, and I will be back. Alright, so I'm actually back a little early. I did find one trade that, or one trade candidate that I'm going to go after. It's not going to be Elias Miles for Kelvin Franco, but I do want to trade for this Kelvin Franco guy because I actually checked on this earlier, and his value is pretty low to the Red Sox. But he's got great pitching ratings, and he's coming off of a pretty good year. He's got 2 more years of team control. He's an Iron Man. He doesn't get hurt. Seems like it'd be a pretty solid reliever, and I think we're going to be able to get him for relatively cheap. I don't think we're going to have to give up too much. Yeah, Jacob Parrott. Oh, Bryant Harris. That's perfect. We weren't going to re-sign him anyway. So Franco, yeah, keeps his nose clean. Good guy. Perfect. Whoops. Whoops. Let's go back to the Red Sox. There we go. All right, complete trade. All right, so we are just ahead of free agency here, and as you can see, Jose Fernandez filed. He declined the qualifying offer, which is perfect, so hopefully we'll get the compensation pick for him. We won a handful of awards. Ozzy Albie took home a Gold Glove. We took home, I think, 5 Silver Sluggers, Goldschmidts, Foscalina, and then all 3 of our outfielders, Reyes, Yamada, and Sky Bolt. Also won Manager of the Year, and Strasburg came in 3rd in Cy Young. As you can see, Marco Gonzalez won it, so that is pretty cool to see. Looks like he had a pretty good first year in San Francisco. And we were able to also capture the NL MVP with Dominic Foscalina. We actually took 1, 2, and 3 in the voting. But yeah, Foscalina, ridiculous season, 317, 951 OPS, 8.7 wins above replacement. I think his BABIP was like 370. Yeah, 360. So pretty cool stuff there. So we're just ahead a couple days, or actually we're 1 day ahead of free agency here. So we'll take a look at the international market, take a look at the domestic market, and see if we can find, particularly any good arms. Like I said, I still think we're probably a starting pitcher short. Now, we've seen in the past that's something that we're pretty adept at upgrading mid-season. So it's not really a big deal if we can't solve or plug that hole at the beginning of the year, but it would be nice to. So let's offer, yeah, we've got a lot of money for free agents, so we can offer this Japanese closer a contract, and Luis Perez, I wouldn't mind bringing him in as a backup next year if he doesn't get signed and his demands drop, but right now I'm not going to pay him $5 million, or yeah, I'm not going to pay him that to be our backup catcher, so. Alright, let's take a look at the rest of the market, see if there are any good free agents. See some big names like Puig, Matt Barnes, so yeah, we're not re-signing Matt Barnes, he had a terrible season for us. After we traded for him, I see Josh Bell, Jose Altuve. Wow, Altuve's still playing. And still playing well, apparently. Giovanni Lopez. Yeah, Giovanni Lopez would be a good target, but I don't really want to invest that much money in... Yeah, and a guy that... I don't know, he just doesn't... he doesn't strike out a ton of guys, and... Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it'd be a bad investment in Colorado. I'm kind of wary after the Matt Barnes thing. Fernandez, Nicolino, Cole Tucker, Jen Ho Sang. Yeah, another guy who I would maybe go after if the demands dropped. But for now, it does not look like it's going to happen. Let's go to the entire free agent list, and we can actually see the entire list and see if we are missing out on anybody. Wow, this is not a very strong class. Jesus. Bunch of relievers. Garrett Fulencheck. This guy seems like he's not bad for $13 million a year. He doesn't really have a good track record, but personality, what personalities? He doesn't have one. Whatever. Yeah, it's let's say this is probably not our best course of action, signing this guy. Although, $13 million is not a bad contract. What would it, 4 years probably? Oh yeah, that's way too much. 7 years, no thanks. No, thank you. Go back, please. So we probably won't do too much in the free agent market, as we typically do. Yeah, 33-year-old. Yeah. All right. So I'll probably just or actually we got the Rule 5 draft. So I'll simulate that to the Rule 5 draft. All right. So we got the Rule 5 draft here, and it's a pretty good pool. I think we might be able to get a pretty solid player out of this. And I'm hoping that I added everybody I needed to add. Let's go to the next pick, or add it to the 40-man, everyone I need to add. Guess we'll find out. I'm hoping this Rob Brennan... okay, well, I was hoping that Rob Brennan guy would fall, because he looked like he's pretty solid. But there are some very good relievers here we could probably get. This Pete Coleman guy looks like he is pretty solid. Even though we already do have a lot of relievers. Still might be good to add one. This guy could... potentially be a nice little backup outfielder. methinks, although he's not very good defensively, but you know, he could grow a little bit. Phil McGinnis, we do need a new backup infielder next year. This guy is very good defensively, so that might make some sense. Hasn't played above Double A though. Yeah, a lot of good choices here. I wonder if we could find a good catcher too. Oh, maybe we can. Devin Adams. Ooh, for a former first-round pick, somewhat of a leader. Does not have a good track record in the big leagues, but might go with him. The only thing that stinks is, you know, you got to commit to putting these guys in the 25-man roster all year, which is a little, it's kind of can get hairy. But so let's take a look at our relievers. I don't think we'll need to. Yeah, we're not going to need to add another reliever to this mix, since we already added Kelvin Franco. So we can go with, instead of Coleman, we can go with. Are we looking at the head scout ratings? What happened? Oh, we're only looking at pitchers. Yeah, let's look at batters. So Eldon Lyon, Pete McGinnis, or Phil McGinnis, Carter Kieboom, Wilson Dominguez, Joe Hopkins. See, Joe Hopkins looks like he might even be better than Devin Adams, to be honest. I'm really not sure what to do here. Eldon Lyons, we just re-signed Jacob Parrott, and this guy's also a right-handed bat, so that doesn't make too much sense. So, alright, let's go with Phil McGinnis since we... Nah, see, I don't think we're going to need... Yeah, we're going to already have... I mean, well, we're going to need McGinnis at the... We'll probably need him at the beginning of the year. So we'll just draft him for now. And we can always release him later. It's not really a big deal. Then I might skip out on Devin Adams. I'm not really too sold on him as my backup catcher. Yeah, let's just complete the draft. We didn't lose anybody, it looks like, which is good. Alright, so we signed Hisashi Ishikawa, and 26 years old. So there's a chance he starts the year in the minor leagues, but I don't know. We'll see what we do with him. We'll put him on the active roster for now. And alright, since that's pretty much all we have planned for the offseason, I think I'll probably just skip ahead till free agency. Or not, till spring training, excuse me. Alright, so we are back here. It is just about the end of spring training, and so I did make one roster move that I did not show you guys on camera. We signed Vladimir Gutierrez, who is a Cuban pitcher. I don't know, I forget where he signed in real life. In this game it looks like he signed with the Miami Marlins, but anyway, we got him for 1 year, $3 million, pretty basic contract. We needed a fifth starter, and he does not have a great track record, but he's got some half-decent ratings, so I figured why not. It's certainly a spot we'll probably upgrade at some point this season, but for now, we're fine with Vladimir Gutierrez. So you can see what the bullpen is. A noticeable absence of Brady Aiken, so I actually sent Brady Aiken down. I want him to work as a starter in the minor leagues for a little bit, and then, let's see, where is he? There he is. So I want him to work in the minor leagues for a little bit as a starter, and then maybe see if he can come up and take that fifth starter spot. Because right now I changed his position to a starter, and he's, you know, still 3.5 stars. So I'm thinking maybe he could actually turn into a half-decent starter. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but and then we still need to claim a backup catcher. We'll do that off of waivers here in just a sec. But for now we've got Dusty King and Jonathan Windham. So I'll call up Esteban Ortiz probably, you know, 20 days into the season or whatever it will have to be, and then he'll take over at shortstop full time. And we'll move Windham to third base, and I don't know what we'll do with Dusty King. I kind of like some of his ratings. I'd like to keep him around, I think, but we still have Phil McGinnis as well, so I'm not really sure. But we'll see. So let's go to the waiver wire here, and we'll just keep our eye out. You can see some of the guys we DFA'd here. I'm hoping Urias does not get claimed. I don't think he will, but you never know. So I'm just looking for a backup catcher now. So we'll just keep our eye on the waiver wire as we approach once we hit opening day, 50 guys will get on waivers, and we'll be able to find a half-decent catcher here somewhere. But yeah, so predictions for this year, I'm not sure. I mentioned in the stream with the OOTP channel last night that I don't know, I thought it was going to kind of be a transition or a bridge year, just because we got those new guys coming up like Esteban Ortiz and Ruben Rodriguez. But at the same time, I mean, adding David Burkhalter, I think that he'll replace Jose Fernandez pretty adequately. And you know, if Strasburg can repeat what he did last year, I feel pretty good about this team, to be honest. So we'll see. Alright, so let's deal with the waiver wire first. Let's just look at guys who can catch. Alright, no one particularly young here. What about Cooper Johnson? It's just fine. Alright, so we'll claim him. And let's see. what do we want to do? Oh yeah, let's look at preseason predictions and the top 100 prospects. So no top 10. Oh no, actually Esteban Ortiz still is listed as the 3rd overall prospect in baseball. So that is pretty cool. And let's look at preseason predictions. So we're projected to win 100 games and win the division. It looks like the division is going to be crap this year. But we'll see. Oftentimes these rankings are, or these predictions are pretty bogus. So we've got, let's see, what, 5 top 10 hitters here. Dillard, Reyes, Foscalina, Yamada, and Bolt. And pitchers, Strasburg, and that is it there. Is Luis Encarnacion on this list? Doesn't look like it. Alright, is Marco Gonzalez on this list? Why is Marco Gonzalez not on this list? That is weird. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know. Alright, and then let's look at the top 100 prospect list. The full top 100 prospect list. Oops. MLB player info. Top prospects. Alright, so yeah, we've got Ortiz. He's the top position player. He's our only position player in the top 100. And for pitchers, we have 2. Cesar Lagoya and Luis Vargas. So, farm system is not too strong right now, but that is alright. Hopefully Ruben Rodriguez turns out to be something. Alright, so you can also take a look at the top player rankings, see how many guys we have here. So Yamada and Sky Bolt are 1 and 2. Foscalina is number 5. And let's see, we've got Jose Reyes down here at number 19. As for pitchers, Strasburg's listed as number 2 still. Burkhalter's number 9. And Geddes is up to number 17, so that is looking like it's a good move to pick him up. Hopefully he can regain some of his old form. Even if he just did what he did last year, actually, I'd be completely satisfied. So, alright, that is going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Next episode will be the mid-season, and we will try to defend our title. So thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.